talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. And they're bald. And there's hockey. Hockey.
Hey, DCHL. Welcome. We are back to Bald Guys and apparently a third bald guy.
A wannabe bald guy.
He's a wannabe.
You don't like it? I think it looks good.
I love it.
More of your face for us to see. So, yes, we are talking Central Division tonight. And we have with us the GM of the Utah Mammoth. Welcome to the new name, Utah Mammoth.
Yeah.
And we're going head first into the Central Division here. So welcome, Trevor.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
I don't remember when the last time we had John was. Maybe
it was early last year, I think. Maybe.
Well, I do remember having you on last year when UFA started the frenzy, but that was just an unofficial, not an official podcast.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
That was just you and I talking about UFA.
Yeah.
So yeah, and here we are. We're bringing you back.
I love it.
What do you think of the name?
I like it. I think the logo looks really sharp. It matches the color scheme that they were going with originally. I just originally, when all the names came out, I wanted Outlaws the most. I feel like there's a lot of history, American history with the Outlaws in Utah, and I just thought that would have been a really cool name. Now, I get the thought as well that it sounded like very like NHL video game being the Outlaws, but I think there was a lot of potential there. But the Mammoth is good. It's not a hockey club still. That's all that matters.
Yes. What do you think, Jean? Do you like the name?
I like it. My first choice would have been Yeti, but I like it. I like the colors. I like the logo. I like everything about it. So I'm a big fan of the work that they're doing in Utah.
Yeah, I actually kind of grew to like hockey club. I thought it was kind of simple and cheesy. I don't know.
I was not a fan.
And when you're the GM of that team, I guess your opinion should matter way more than mine. So
a smidge.
Okay. So I'm about ready to get started here into the Central Division. Anybody want to say anything before we start?
No, we're good. Let's get started.
Well, I don't want to start there. Okay. So, preseason predictions. Central Division. Starting with the Chicago Blackhawks. I will say last year, the Blackhawks made the playoffs for the first time. Was this the first time under Chris's leadership?
I think it was the first time since they won the cup.
Oh, maybe.
Back in 2018. When JC was the GM. When JC was the GM, I think so.
Okay, well, decent depth there. I don't know that this is a cup contending team, but certainly a playoff team. I like the depth. I like top six is pretty good. I don't know, boys. What do you think?
Go ahead, Trevor. It's your division.
So what I kind of noticed with the Blackhawks is they have a really great forward group and some solid depth, just like Steve had mentioned. They do have a lot of really good forwards with some really high face-off ratings. So that might work in their favor to kind of have a better penalty kill or power play. I mean, the sim doesn't necessarily just decide if you have a better face-off rating, you're going to beat someone who's lower, but that might help them out. And then their D-men as well had some really high defensive ratings. So my thought was this might be a little bit more of a shutdown type of team, low-scoring games. I think it's going to be a playoff team at the end of the day, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Tell
agree.
me Joey Decord's not overrated at 90, though.
Yeah, it's a high goaltender rating.
Yeah. But Georgiev at 88 is like way too high. He should be a 78. He couldn't even get a contract until this week where he signed for a minimum wage
With Buffalo.
with Buffalo because their starting goalie got hurt. So yeah, Georgiev's rating is way too high. I think that's the biggest weakness for Chicago is the net. But we'll see what the core does as a starter. I'm not a fan of Georgiev at all, and I don't think that it's going to help him when he uses him. But I think he's got tons of depth at forward, and his defense is, as you said, it's good defensively, but who's going to beat him puck mover? Pelic? Lindgren?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
He's going to be Radko Gudas because his ass is going to be in the penalty box most of the time.
So, like, to me on a power play, he's probably going to go with 5 forwards because you don't have a puck mover or an offensive defenseman on that defense at all.
Nope.
Yep.
But
The other thing
I
is
agree.
he's got about $9 million tied up just between his 2 goalies as well. Like, it's eating up a lot of cap space for guys who might not rate well the following year.
Mm-hmm. And Georgiev is signed for a few more years.
Yeah, he's got him at 3.8 for 4 years, and then Decord is 5 years, a little bit more than 5 mil.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it'll be a very interesting year to watch Georgiev play in Buffalo in the NHL because it's going to be a real test to him. We'll find out how good a goalie he is when he's not playing in front of a good team.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to Colorado here.
I was going to say one thing that I wanted to mention about this team as well is their window to win is like the next 2-3 years kind of thing. Because if you're looking at their team, it is mostly UFA contracts, and a lot of big names are falling off in the next couple of years. So either he's going to have to replenish those players via free agency, or he's going to have to do a really good job with drafting. Because what I was looking at for his team future, like, he's got some decent prospects in there, but no one that's going to shift the way that the franchise is currently going.
yeah, it's just like there's no stars coming.
No,
So
it's now or never.
yeah.
So maybe
So
start moving some of those guys and bring somebody in if you want to take a shot at it.
Yeah.
Okay, Colorado. Again, same kind of thing as Chicago, but maybe not quite as good of a team. There's parts of this team I really like. I like the top 6. I got a question. Like Kevin Lankin and Alex Lyon as your 2 goalies makes me cringe a little bit. And other than Wallman and Shabbat, I don't know that I like the D either.
Go ahead, Trevor.
What I was going to say is, yeah, like, I agree with you. He's got the same kind of thing, just not as good as Chicago, but he is seriously lacking depth. If he takes 2 forward injuries at the same time at any point in the season, like, he has Shane Bowers and Brandon Cooey as the 2 guys that are going in. They're both rated below 70. He doesn't have a whole lot of cap space as well to work with to bring in additional guys. I think he's right around like $3 million or something like that. But if this team gets the injury bug, they're well out of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's top heavy for his defense, and he's top heavy for his top 2 lines. After that, it's still has a lot of work to do. Like when you have Eric Robinson and Ethan Frank on your forward lines, And Alex Lyon, I don't think played in the NHL last year. If he did, he only played 1 year. And again, he's rated an 87, so not a fan. Um, I think Matt Roy is better than in his rating is giving it to him. He's been getting, but it's a bubble team for me for the playoffs.
Yeah, I would even say I'm not like I have a hard time seeing this team getting in there.
And that's another team just like Chicago. Who's coming up?
In Colorado,
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot.
like there's nobody coming up.
No.
It's and he's got maybe 2 years to go, 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have in my notes here. 2, maybe 3 years to go for it, and then he doesn't have his first this year or next year. So if he misses the playoffs both those years, that's going to make that rebuild even more tough. So again, same thing. It's now or never. Like, trade what, I don't know, maybe you trade some of the better prospects that you have to try and just shore up your lineup this year or for the next 2 years. And then if you don't get it done over that time, then you look at rebuilding afterwards when you have your first. But if you're not making the playoffs right now and you don't have your first, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'd almost go the opposite way and say maybe this is a team that needs to start moving some players out, moving some talent out, and start building back up again because there just isn't a lot there.
Yeah. So. I totally forgot. I was actually just looking at his prospects. He does have Landeskog, which is going to be funny. So I'm assuming he'll be rated for us next year, but I think he only gets like maybe 1, maybe 2 years of him. It's not much.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract is like with Landeskog, but is he even going to come? Is he coming back this year? Like, has he been in camp?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if he's been in camp, but he played last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he ended up coming back.
Okay, so I don't think there's too much more to add on Colorado. I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he does have a really good top line. Like that, combining those Detroit players, I think is hilarious that he ended up with all of them. But yeah, if he doesn't get injuries, he's probably battling for a wild card spot in the West. But if he gets any injuries, again, the cap space is not.
It reminds me of Detroit last year in the Atlantic Division. Had really good top 3 and a good top pairing defensively and goaltending that I believe overperformed. I don't remember. Oh, he had Andre Fleury and then he traded for Jonathan Quick.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I was kind of confused about, and I noticed at some point after I moved Shabbat to him, he only ended up signing Shabbat to 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. He only gave him a 3-year deal. So, I assumed with him moving Tristan Leno that he was probably going to give him the max 5-year deal. He only gave Thomas Shabbat 3 years, $8.3 million.
Wow.
Which really surprised me. I figured that was somebody you were going to give the max 5 years to, but
yeah, because 5 years you get 5 years get you to 34 years old for Shabbat.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah. I'm surprised about that.
Well, and the Senators obviously invested in him because they got rid of Chychrun, and they basically had to choose between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
So they made their choice. So you kind of feel like Shabbat's going to be a big part of the team going forward.
Yeah, and he's been a big part of the team so far. So
yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the other thing is on his entire starting roster right now, he has 1 RFA, and it's DeBrincat. Everyone else is UFA.
Well,
so
good luck. I hope you get there. I just don't. I love the top 6 forwards. I do. But after that, this team, even Shabbat, even Shabbat on your top pair makes me a little wary just because his defensive rating is going to be so bad.
What is his defensive rating? It's 76. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be 76? Have they not seen Shabbat play defensively in the last?
Okay. It's when he doesn't have Zetnik as his partner, or yeah.
There's not a lot of high-rated defensive players on his team at all.
Oh, then his team's in a lot of trouble this year. He better score 5 goals a game.
Yeah, that top line better be buzzing.
I don't think he'll be able to score 5 goals a game.
So, okay, let's move on to Dallas here. Again, same thing. Some really good parts of this team. You mentioned depth being an issue with I think it was Colorado. Zach LaRue is going to be in your lineup. Like you got to do better than that. Come on, Dallas.
I don't think he's going to be in the lineup.
No, because he's got Nazar,
Bork, and LaRue. He better have them playing the least number of minutes he can per game.
If he had set his depth chart, it would have been a little bit easier to look at, but I'm assuming that he's not going to be in there because what I can see is he's got Ben, Foligno, Line and Sod all on his unassigned list. And I know you have it set up here.
Oh, and the other thing was who's playing center on this lineup? Because I was just putting guys in. And I didn't Wyatt Johnson's not a center, is he?
Wyatt Johnson has his second highest faceoff rating on the team at 80.
Okay.
he played center in junior. So,
Okay.
but I don't know if he's not playing center in the NHL. I don't think so.
How is he rated? How do they come up with an 80 for his? Oh, Lord. I don't understand the guys that do the ratings.
The other thing I wasn't quite certain about with his entire roster is I was looking at it earlier today. He only has 10 forwards and 5 defensemen on his pro roster right now. And his salary cap is $82.6 million. So he needs to add still a couple more forwards and another D-man or two. So,
well, maybe he's one of these guys that's made one of these deals or a few of these deals that take place day one.
Right.
I
forgot there's a
don't
couple
know.
of deals on the back burner there with Edmonton.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wyatt Johnston is the number 1 center for the Dallas Stars on the depth chart.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Hintz?
Yeah. They've got Johnston, Ben, and Rantanen, and then Hintz, Robertson, and Bork. That's
both those
Puckpedia.
lines are so sick.
That's why Dallas is always in the Final Four, or should be in the Final Four every year. Yeah,
How are they for the cap?
This team is better than like when I looked at it again after I saw where you rated them, Trevor. I'm like, yeah, I think they're better in Colorado and Winnipeg. So.
Yeah, I think his team's pretty good. I think he could use a bit of an improvement on D. But I think this team's going to be battling for kind of close to the top spot in the Central Division. One thing I was looking at as well is there's several players on this team that are falling off of his contract, like falling off to UFA in the next 1 or 2 years. Like Matheson's gone, Ben's gone, Tom Wilson's gone. He'll lose Nick Foligno, Braden McNabb, Kerfoot, Brandon Sod. But then he's got a ton of young players on his farm roster that are going to be stepping in and filling those roles, like Nazar, Bichelle, Bork, Lure, Jiricek. Some good players.
Yeah.
And his goalies with Dawes and Comiso. So he's got a future coming.
Yeah.
I think he's going to battle for playoff spot. I don't think he's going to battle for the cup, but I think there's a future there. Unlike
This team is
Chicago.
going to be relevant in the Central for a while.
Yep.
I'll agree with that before I agree with the contending for a playoff team, and I don't see it. So
Really?
yeah, and I don't see, again, Colorado and Dallas. I look at kind of the same thing where it's like it's not like they're a mile out of the playoffs, but you got to like the three teams, Chicago and Utah and who's the other one?
Minnesota?
Oh, yeah. Minnesota. I mean, there's your three. And then now you've got to beat the fifth place team in the Pacific. And I don't know that that's going to happen. Like I just think Dallas and Colorado just don't have the ability to compete there. They're not bad teams, and I like what Dallas has got more than I like with Colorado because of the Bichelle and the young guys that we've talked about, Drew Comesso, etc.
Yeah.
But this year I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I could be wrong. Part of me hopes I'm wrong, but I mean, Chicago surprised us last year, right? So maybe Dallas does that this year.
And I think Blackwood is going to surprise this year, being in Colorado. So if it translates to the sim, I think his goaltending is better than Colorado and Colorado was the other team that we just looked at. Also, I was just looking at his prospects. How many AHL games does a player need to play to be rated?
10.
Okay, so because Harrison Brunicky played 10 AHL game last year.
Don't count playoffs.
Nope. Regular season.
Oh, but he'll be the slide, the ELC slide.
Okay.
I would
played
assume
2
he's
playoff
in the ELC
games
slide.
and 10 regular season AHL games.
Yeah, he's probably ELC slide, I would assume. Because he's still pretty young. Like he was 2024 draft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. Carter Yakimchuk is the same thing for this year. He's got an ELC slide because of his age.
Yeah.
Elite Prospects has him playing for Kamloops again this year.
Okay.
Really?
Apparently, yeah.
That's interesting.
I thought he'd make the team.
Okay, Minnesota. And I think this should be a very interesting team for Trevor to watch because I think this is, if a team is going to contend with him, here it is right here. And we talked about goalies that were overrated. I mean, Logan Thompson at 91. I liked Logan Thompson, but I can't see how the stats the last 2 years justify 91.
The thing that annoys me the most about Minnesota is how they're just an absolute goalie factory. Logan Thompson, Thatcher Demko, Lucas Dostal, Devin Levi. Nice.
I talked to him about Thatcher Demko, and I don't know why he's not trying to trade him more. But he's not really actively trying to trade him.
I think he's just waiting for the right deal.
Well, it wasn't from me. And the other thing I want to say is, how the hell is Elias Pettersson 89?
Because I've said it before. It takes time for players' rating to go down once it reaches a certain level.
Okay, but he's been absolutely horse manure the last 2 years.
Okay, but he had 103 points 3 years ago.
Okay, but the sim's only supposed to look at the last 2 years.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He should be rated low 80s.
He had 103 points.
He's gonna put up 80 points this year on this team.
I don't know if I agree he should be low 80s, but he shouldn't be 89.
What was it? How many points did he have in the NHL last year?
45 points in 64 games.
Okay.
So it's respectable.
How many points did, let's say, who's 84 here? Oliver Bjorkstrand had how many points last year?
Bjorkstrand had, he had 46 points in 79 games.
That's my point.
But Bjorkstrand didn't put up a point per game the season prior to.
But
Pettersson
okay,
did.
Elias Pettersson put up a point per game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought he was okay. What was he injured most of the year? Or?
No, he had like close to 80 points, if not like 80 something.
He had 89 points in 82 games. I think that was just, there was a lot of talk about his name in the NHL because I think that's when that drama started to unfold.
Yeah.
But it hadn't completely blown apart yet.
Oh, well.
So the one place where the sim ratings is like not accurate for Pettersson, where his leadership is 77. His leadership should be 57.
It might be in the 30s.
should be the same level as his fighting, 35.
Would you rather him fight or be a leader? Okay. I mean, so I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this is a contending team. Like, this is a team that if it's in the final at the end of the year, it's not horrible.
No one's going to be surprised. Yeah.
No, very good team.
Yeah. Yep. Top to bottom, super deep on forward with some absolute stars. He's got some really, really good young D-men. Their overall rating, I think, is a little bit misleading, but nonetheless, still very strong. And then, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, just the goalie depth is just outrageous.
I hate that, because I've been trying to get goalies since 2018. I know that I'm not.
I think you have to draft them.
Then there's him and Flax, who have they pick a goalie and they become potential stars. So
Flax gets his buddies to trade them to
him. And he just drafted Ravensburger at 26.
Yep, he did.
He's got all that goalie depth, and he still freaking goes and gets the top goalie in the draft.
Well, allegedly the top goalie in the draft. Columbus Blue Jackets would disagree with that statement.
Yes,
Jeff.
true.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. I don't know. There's too much more to add on Minnesota, except contending team. Good job.
Wagon.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good team.
We're going to the exact extreme opposite here with Nashville, and I mean, I think Neil has done a good job so far. He made some trades, tore things down, and I think he's just willing to. This year, I think is the year where he's willing to let it happen. He's going to sit back and think of England here.
I'm so happy he rebuilt. Every GM who has taken over Nashville, I tend to reach out to them. I'm just be like, hey, new guys, I'm just like, watch out. You might get a really bad offer, so just don't accept it. But the other thing, I'm just like, your team needs to be rebuilt. There's just no reason that this team should be competing. And then finally, Neil decides to strip it down, and I truly think that's the best thing for it. There were some really good top players on that team, but at the end of the day, there wasn't enough depth. And this division is so tough the thing that made the most sense was trade Marner, get as much as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back. It works out in his favor because he's a new GM. He's getting all these futures. It's going to take a while for his team to rebuild. He can take that time to learn how the league works with free agency, trading, what works in rosters and what doesn't. And then as his prospects get rated and get better, he'll have a better understanding of how this league works entirely. I think it's just going to work in his favor.
Well, first of all, last year on this show, Sean and I basically said that, and he's done it. Like, he tore it down. And I will say also that Neil's in my other league. I'm in one other league, and he had a team that was absolutely atrocious. And last year was the first year where they were back and they won the division and went into the playoffs. So he knows how to do it, and he's done it before. So, DCHL, be on alert, because.
So the most important part of what Neil did in the first year was to avoid the flax tax as a national GM.
I want to make that a permanent hashtag in the league, the flax tax.
That's good.
Did you just make that up?
I just did. It just came to me because I was like, oh, did he? Nashville. Everybody have to trade their best players to Flax when they join the new GMs.
Hashtag flax tax. Okay. We're going with this, yeah. Maybe we'll have Flax come on for next week when we do the Metro.
I'll get a text any minute now.
That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's nothing here that really needs to be. I'm sure anybody on this roster that's anything will be traded by the end of the year.
Yeah, I was taking a peek. Like, there's two guys with 1 year left. The only players that I think might gain any type of traction or like be worth anything at all would maybe be Nino Niederreiter for 1 year, and then I think Lawson Krause at a very affordable $4.5 million for 4 years is pretty easy to take on. I don't think you'll see him moving anyone like Jake Allen or Riley Smith. Those are kind of boat anchors on a franchise, so I think he'll be seeing those ones through. But lots of prospects in the wings. Too early to say if anyone is going to be franchise altering. I am a big fan of Victor Eklund, but we'll see kind of what pans out with him. And then he's got so many draft picks again this year, and he's got the Ducks first, which is just gold.
Yeah, I think his plan was to get as many guys as he could and try to win the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes.
Yeah. I can't believe the Ducks traded him that first for Zegras. I'd be holding on to that to try and get McKenna as well. That is a franchise altering player.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And Dan must be a huge fan of Zegras for some reason, but to me, giving up a first and a second for Zegras, not something I would have done.
Well, but in a first that even if you don't win McKenna, like, they're talking the top 10 of this upcoming draft is exceptional players.
Yeah.
Like, the top 5 for sure is probably better than, like, if you take Schaefer and Misa out, the top 5 is everybody else that went in the top 10. Like, it's like anybody who's trading away, anybody who's a non-playoff team trading away their first round pick,
crazy.
It's crazy because they just either didn't look at what's coming or I don't think anybody got anything that was really that good, because this year's draft is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see. But I mean, I'm happy with what Neil's done so far, and I look forward to what his team will be in a few years.
The only thing Neil's going to run into is, like, he's got so many prospects that were just drafted in the last couple of years on this team, plus all the picks he has coming up. Like, he's going to have to start packaging them for things, because he's going to have so many prospects that he's not going to be able to put in a starting roster.
Well, that's what I'll tell you, that's kind of what he did was in the other league was he built up a really good core and then used a lot of assets to build on top of that.
Yeah.
And, it really worked for him. OTHL, it's not the Flyers. I believe it's Carolina. It's Carolina Hurricanes. OTHL, Carolina Hurricanes. Check it out. Okay, so we'll move on here. St. Louis. I'll say this is all I'm going to say. What we said last year about Neil applies this year to St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason he has Matthews is I'm assuming is because he's waiting for the right offer.
Yeah.
Same with UPL and Merzlikins.
Well, I don't even know that UPL is worth all that much right now. Like, he's got a good rating, but he's done nothing in Buffalo.
Fair, but I think there's something to say that he has 2 years at under $800,000 and is an RFA.
True.
I think there's good value there. If someone's looking for possibly like a somewhat of a long-term solution in net, willing to take a little bit of a gamble on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, like I wouldn't be letting him go for, what would I be trading him? Like I'd want at least a second for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, I think.
At less than $1 million, I think it's more than a second.
You think it's more than a second? You're looking at first territory to get him?
I think so.
Yeah,
if you're looking for, because he's under $1 million. So, and I know last year he didn't have that great of a year, but 2 years ago he had 910 save percentage and 2.57 goal against average
on a bad team.
Buffalo Sabres, who were bottom 10 in the league. Or
yeah.
2 years ago they were pretty good, eh? They were they almost.
There was 1 year, yeah. I think it might have been 2 years ago where they just missed the playoffs.
And look at when he did. And last year he struggled, and the rest of the team did. So I think UPL is about to break out, and that injury that he just got is going to hurt the development. But he's 26. He's about to break out. So to me, that's at least a late first, or or a second and a good prospect.
Yeah.
And like a decent prospect.
Yeah, I won't argue it.
Well, get what you can for Austin Matthews.
Yep, get what you can for Austin Matthews. Yeah. Absolutely.
As much, like 3 firsts or some crazy ass shit. Like let's a Marner level deal. I would even say he's probably better than Marner.
100% he is. Absolutely he is.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, he's definitely worth more than Marner. Yeah, 3 firsts plus is what I'd be wanting to get from him, unless he trades him to Flax for a couple of
late
UFAs
round picks
and some B tier prospects.
Well, that Flax tax is pretty high. Yeah,
the Flax tax.
But he's not your new GM, so I don't think he needs to pay the Flax tax. He's already paid it.
Is Flax putting tariffs on everything? Is that what it is?
He's the Donald Trump of the DCHL. Let's put tariffs.
It's the Quebec Flax tax. The Quebec tariffs.
Okay, yeah. I don't see how this team does what it did last year, which was somehow sneak into the playoffs, especially with the D right now that it has. I don't know. I don't know if his not doing much in UFA was purposeful or whether it was just lack of participation. He did a lot in the draft, so I don't want to suggest that he just didn't put anything into UFA, but
I think he's just saving his cash.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, he only has $17 million, like $18 million in cash. He didn't have any money to spend in UFA. So,
well, get what you can for Austin Matthews. Maybe sell him for $100 million in cash.
The only person who has that kind of money, I think, is Flax. Oh no, Flax is short. Flax has 83.
How does he have so much?
Makes the playoffs every year.
The taxes, the tariffs.
Yeah,
The tariffs, yes. Hey, according to Donald Trump, tariffs are not taxes. I don't know where you're coming up with this. It's like you read it in some book called a dictionary and it says tax and you think you know.
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of money. He's got $21 million more than me, and I'm in second.
And you were part of the Gelato
Yeah,
sweepstakes.
the Gelato sweepstakes, and
Weren't we all?
I've just been living off the dividends of that trade.
I spent that money as soon as I got it.
Oh, you won it too?
Yep.
How the hell did you? Oh God, shut. Oh, that's so funny.
I was trying to rebuild. So I went after free agents, and frickin' Buff retired after I paid a huge amount of free agency for him. Big
Wow.
Buff.
Okay, moving on. Utah Mammoth. Here we are. Trevor, I think I say this every year. Like, and I love how you've put this team together. I can only dream one day that I could put a team like this together. And for the record, Mitchell Chaffee, like, you just giving this kid a shot. You can't find someone better than Mitchell Chaffee on your fourth line.
I mean, I'm sure I can, but
That is
Do I
literally
need
the
to?
only thing in this lineup that is like below almost all-star level player.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think he played like on a bottom six role in Tampa Bay last year, so he's right where he should be.
He's your 12th or 13th forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Trevor, Steve is giving you a hard time about your 12th forward.
I know. Would you prefer if I put in Jonah Gadjevich?
And he's
Okay.
affronted by it. He's affronted by it.
You know, like the only thing that he could criticize
Yeah.
was your 12th forward on your team. So
Matthew
let's take
Nyes is
that
going to be
into
on the top
consideration.
line for the Leafs. And you've got him on your third line.
Yes.
And he's underrated. He's
And
not.
underrated.
He should be rated much higher than that.
Yeah, like his rating justifies kind of being in a middle six role. He'll eventually be replacing some other guys on my team. Like, who is it? Like, Parayko's gone after this year. Adam Lowry's going to be UFA as well. So it all depends on whether or not I end up signing those guys or like trying to re-sign some guys in free agency or just let the guys that I have on my team fill the roles in a more meaningful way. But
And if Nikushin doesn't stay healthy and play better, his rating's going to go down next year.
are you saying he should stop doing cocaine?
Yes. maybe that would help.
That might be a little helpful. I agree.
You know, you should probably put him in the player program.
Yeah, do we have that for the DCHL?
So,
I'll
like,
talk to Ian. Maybe he should start putting a fund together for those players.
what is it? Hose and blows is not a good way to spend your off season.
Sean's on fire today, everyone.
No, Nichushkin's having too much of that Russian gas in the off season.
I was gonna say you have a lot of Russians, but I always forget Barkov is Finnish.
He's Finnish.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Jean, playoff team, right? Contending
Playoff team, probably top team in the West, not just division winner in the Central, top team in the West. And
I hope so. Back-to-back Western Conference Finals and not making it to the big dance kind of stings.
yes.
Hey, you barely made the playoffs last year.
I know.
And you're welcome for me not taking Evan Bouchard a few years ago and taking your pick at 15 instead of Evan Bouchard when we were talking trade for Yossi.
Yeah. No, I looked back at that. I made a huge offer to you and you didn't take it, so thank you.
I'm like, such a moron.
I still somehow ended up with Yossi.
Yeah, I know. No, I traded him to you for 15. I wanted 15, and who was it?
Yeah, no,
The hot dog guy there.
I felt Bouchard
Phil
was a little
Kessel?
underrated last
Yeah.
year on the DCHL. He's got a good overall now, but there's still some stats that I think are a little low for him. But no, I'm happy with the team. I think I got some good depth throughout the lineup. Jet Greaves as a backup we'll see. I just didn't think it made sense to hold on to David Riddick as a backup when Jet Greaves just had that spectacular end to the season.
It's 2 years in a row, Jack Greaves, like he's an all-star in the AHL.
Yeah.
So he's been carrying Cleveland in the AHL for the last couple of years. The only thing holding him back, he's 6 foot tall. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean the Utah Mammoth, they're going to be there again this year in the show.
Top team in
Winnipeg
the West.
Jets, the Jets. If there's been a more disappointing team the last couple of years than the Jets, it would be the LA Kings and then the Jets. Because I don't understand how this team has pooped the bed the last couple of years. And here they are again, and it was hard for me to put them in a playoff position because they didn't add much to their lineup. I don't know why I have Rasmus Kupari on their third line.
Because he does on his depth chart.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm losing faith, Randy. I'm losing faith.
Yeah, I agree. And the futures of this team is not looking great either. Spurgeon and Talbot both 1 year. Same with Seth Jones, Nick Leddy, Tony D'Angelo, all UFAs. Then the following year, it's Thomas Hurdle, Jake Gensel,
Michael Misa.
Michael Misa will be quite a good ad.
I will not remember Tony D'Angelo's name when Michael Misa's on this team.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just a lot of big players on this team are all hitting free agency in the next year or two. So either he makes a good run to the attempts to make another run to the finals, but I don't think he really has much cap space. Yeah, he's got like less than $4 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he one of these teams in the Central that looks at his roster and goes, I probably should rebuild around Michael Misa?
Maybe wait like the first 20 games, see how your team's doing.
Yes.
And if you're in there, then you stick to it. And if you're falling back, then maybe that's when you start looking for offers on Kyle Connor or Jake Gensel or Brock Besser or whatever.
Yeah.
Thomas Hurdle.
Yeah.
100%.
So
100%. And I don't think he's got other than Misa, I don't think he's got a ton of good prospects either. Oh, he's got a couple. Yeah, he's only got two other guys drafted in the first.
He's got Sacha Boisvert, Vanaker.
I do like Mason West,
Danny Nelson, Ben Nanford. So,
and I am a really big fan of Pavel Moisevich.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
He picked Moisevich the pick before me, and I was crushed.
Yes, I think I think he took him just before me also, because I ended up taking Kim Saarinen that year in the third round. So, yeah, big fan of Moisevich. Yeah, Saarinen I picked at 90, and he took Moisevich at 86. So, and then you came in the pick right behind me at 91, Trevor. You took Iriki Goshik.
Yeah.
So, no, I think the Jets are going to be a playoff contender, but they're not going to be a playoff, like making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a cup contender. So he's in the mushy middle of, it's going to finish either the last team in the West to make the playoffs or the first team in the West not to make the playoffs. You're down. We can't hear a word you're saying, Steve. You're not on mute, but we can't hear a word you're saying. It's
Can you
the
hear me
best
now?
comment you've made all year.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you just made the best comment we've made you all year.
Oh, Jean's on fire tonight, people. Jean's on fire. He's flax taxing me now. Okay. What I was saying was his team is like mine, where it's going to be like just probably on the outside of the playoffs looking in that 15. Him and I will be fighting for the 15th overall pick. So here we are. We're gonna go over all of our final predictions here. We'll just start off with the similarities, and we all have Utah, Minnesota, Chicago going 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's much argument there. I think that's really. I'd be very surprised if it didn't finish that way. And we all have St. Louis and then Nashville at the bottom.
Yeah.
And where we all differ is that
The mushy middle.
spots, that mushy middle, correct. Winnipeg, Colorado, Dallas. John has Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas, and Trevor, Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg. I will say I sort of see them all in that same range. And we'll have to see.
I see Dallas as a playoff team. So I think that the split for the playoffs in the West is going to go 4-4 this year. And then I think the drop between Dallas and Colorado for myself, like on my prediction, I think it's going to be fairly substantial.
It's I'll admit, I told Steve before, I think I ranked Dallas a bit too low. I don't think it's going to be substantial to me between Colorado, Winnipeg, and Dallas, but I think Dallas should be ranked higher than what I have them. I'll admit that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like at least a 10-point gap. I think the larger battle is more so going to be in the Pacific over about who's going to be getting those last couple of wild card spots.
Well, to the advantage of the Central, I think Nashville and St. Louis will be worse than the bottom two teams in the Pacific, where that's Seattle and Anaheim, and what's the other bottom feeder team? Or is it just
the Kings?
The Kings. That's right. Those three teams will be more competitive, I think, than St. Louis and Nashville. So the teams in this division that get the extra game against Nashville, it's going to be to their advantage. That's only 2 or 4 points or whatever.
And it depends how if St. Louis trades away Matthews, because as soon as St. Louis trades away Matthews, the Blues are going down.
I don't like. He has to. Like we said this last year with Nashville. They have to, if they want to be a team competitive in this league, they need to blow it up, and that's Austin Matthews.
I don't know if I agree with that comment that Nashville and St. Louis are going to be way lower than the other teams in the Pacific. Like, I'm looking at Seattle's roster right now. It's bad.
No. He's got Galchenyuk. Or no, Gallagher. Who's he got? What's the
Brendan Gallagher?
Brendan Gallagher. Sorry, wrong guy.
I'm not going to talk too much about his team because I don't want to ruin anything for your next podcast, but I think Seattle's going to be right in there at the bottom with those guys.
We've done Seattle. We've done the Pacific already.
We've already done the Pacific.
Perfect. Well, then, yes. Seattle
So-
will be down there, and Anaheim, I think, is going to be right there with them, holding hands.
See, but I think Anaheim, we said this in our podcast, I think Anaheim is better than they were last year.
And he's trying to get better also. So I think he's gonna try to add something.
And
Anaheim.
as bad as I think Seattle is, I think they're better than they were last year as far as the team they're going to be playing with. I don't agree the team's in a better situation overall, but I think their team will score more points than last year's team, for what that's worth. And maybe it matters to Edmonton because they have their first round pick.
Oh yeah, Edmonton's rooting with me.
Yeah. So
Yes, definitely.
well, that's the other
Worst-
team too in the West. So you might have a point because Edmonton's in the West as well.
Yeah.
And they're probably the worst team in the league.
And Edmonton's trying to lose.
Yeah.
I think Bob's goal is to have picks 1 and 2 in next year's
I
draft.
say we let Neil and Bob have a arm wrestling contest for McKenna. Do something a little different.
If Bob gets 1 and 2, he's going to have some sweet top prospects on that team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is possible. Okay. So I'm going to just suggest we wrap it up here because there's a huge thunderstorm in my town and the lights have flickered. And I believe that's why the mic went on mute there. It just
Okay.
So I think we might want to wrap it up fairly soon.
Just a comment from Zach. Who's got Demko? Minnesota tried to trade Demko to Zach. It involved Lacombe, so Zach said no. They talked trade. For
Jackson
Demko.
Lacombe, that was all he wanted.
Well, it was part of the deal for Demko.
Okay, there
I
had to
think
be a lot more in
Jackson
the
Lacombe
deal.
is like I think if Zach trades Jackson Lacombe, that would be a mistake.
I agree.
100%, because Zach should be trying to get. But like, if the
Other
NHL,
Jackson
if
Lacombe.
Vancouver offered Demko for Jackson Lacombe, I feel like
I'm sure that's not what it was, but it included Lacombe.
there has to be more than that. There has to be way more than that.
Yeah.
Although it's Jake too. Jake might not. Jake's one of those guys. Starts off low balling and then builds up. Is that head getting a little itchy there, Trevor?
No, I just like touching how smooth my bald head is. I didn't put enough wax on it like Gene does, though.
That is his pre-show ritual, eh?
Yeah. The light is right above my head. It's shiny.
I love how there's always this picture over here in the corner. Do you know who that is? Maybe
No.
we should have a prize for whoever figures out who that is.
Mr. Rice or
I
I'm
won.
gonna say, do you have is it your wife? I have no idea.
No, it's not my wife. It is not my wife.
Do
no
you have a
idea.
daughter?
No.
Do you know who Felicia Day is?
No.
Nope.
Well, do some Googling. She was, she's an actress and she's like a nerd's dream. We'll leave it at that. She's been in a bunch of little, you've seen her in stuff. You just don't remember her because she's that person.
She looks familiar.
Yeah. You've seen her in lots of shows because she's done commercials. She's the this week's guest star on stuff. So anyway, thank you very much, Trevor, for hopping on with us and repping the Central Division. I think we can say the competitive Central Division. Like it is maybe not as close as last year, but
Agreed.
still a pretty solid division. All in all.
Yeah,
So.
I agree. Like the only teams actively trying to rebuild are Nashville, and it hasn't been verbally confirmed yet, but St. Louis is the other one. And then, I mean, Winnipeg and Colorado haven't thrown in the towel by any means, though they should maybe be considering it.
Yeah, I would think Randy's gotta face it a little bit. So
Well,
maybe he runs the first 20 games and is right there. I don't know. Like I can't
And he's
figure out
20-0.
Well, like or LA last year started off like 0-8 or something. And they have a highly competitive team. Like it was ridiculous what was happening in LA.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? I still don't believe Detroit deserved the record they got last year. So whatever. We'll see. I look forward to the end of the year show where we can discuss how Jean was right, especially the part about the flax tax.
That's good stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna call it here, and we'll see you next week with the Metro. And we haven't had Mike Giletto on, so maybe him. Josh has been on like years ago, so maybe him. Gage is already offered, but we've had Gage on a few times, so we'll try to find somebody else. Sean Laren, I'm not even sure Sean Laren exists. I think he's just a figment of Mark Gaudreau's imagination.
I'll send him a trade offer, and it's like 2 weeks later he'll answer. Though he does answer.
When Mark checks his other account.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're calling it there, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.